the symphony of life, the high notes, the low notes, and a few off-key ones. Overture. When Beethoven has a system error. Welcome, ladies, gentlemen, and all you souls meandering down the path of searching for life's meaning, to the grandest, most complex piece of music, the Symphony of Life. Some call it a masterpiece. Others find it resembles more of an impromptu jam session, full of technical glitches. Regardless, each of us is a musician, a conductor, and an unwilling audience member to our own performance. Today, I, an ill-fated expert, will share this symphony with you. And I must confess, this is an impossible mission. Why? Because no one on this earth has ever heard their own symphony in its entirety. Let alone the grand chorus of 8 billion people. We only hear our own solo, occasionally glancing over to see what melody our neighbor is playing, only to return to lamenting that our own notes are perpetually off-key. But oh well, let's ponder this together. Since we've started, we might as well see it through. Imagine this. The Symphony of Life wasn't composed by Mozart or Beethoven. It was written by an oops-prone composer whose software system seems to crash constantly. That's why the crescendos that were supposed to be glorious are suddenly met with a power outage. The moments that should have been poignant and somber are pierced by the neighbor's blaring alarm clock. And the pinnacle of irony is when the notes we thought we knew by heart transform into a completely alien melody. First, let's talk about the high notes, the moments we call happiness. Happiness, a concept that sounds shimmering and magical, but in reality, is more like a jump scare in a horror film. It appears suddenly, startling us with delight, then vanishes without a trace, leaving behind a desolate void that sends us searching, chasing after it like a starved puppy. Happiness could be a bonus in your paycheck, a compliment from your boss, or simply finding the TV remote after an hour of tearing the house apart. It's not a long, sustained note, but a tiny ding from the universe notifying you, hey, you did great, keep it up because you have to go back to suffering now. And the low notes, my friends, those are the endless epics. It's not just a sad note. It's an entire sad act, a sad movement. It's the days you wake up feeling utterly bored, with no desire to do anything. It's when you're heartbroken, jobless, and defeated, and you realize you're losing to everyone. But don't worry, these low notes aren't here to drown you. They are simply here to remind you, you're still alive, and life is full of these dreadful things. Ironically, it's the low notes that create the depth in the music. It's like having to taste bitterness and spiciness so that when you finally eat a piece of candy, you realize it's insanely delicious. And finally, the off-key notes. Those are the ones we can't explain, can't rationalize. It's when you're in the middle of a heated argument and you suddenly notice a single gray hair on the other person's head. It's when you're trying to look serious in a meeting, but your stomach decides to protest with a mighty rumble. It's when you're standing at an intersection and you can't remember where you were going. These notes mean nothing. They bring neither happiness nor suffering. They are simply the foolish, absurd, and unexpected moments of life. But it is precisely these off-key moments that create the uniqueness, the unpredictability, and the humor of the symphony. They remind us that life isn't always a grand tragedy. Sometimes it's just an improvised comedy. Part 1. The Overture. When almost there is a fantastical promise. When we were kids, our parents and teachers taught us that life is like a marathon. You have to try hard, run fast, and overcome countless obstacles to reach the finish line. And that finish line, in our tender imaginations, sparkled like a diamond, as brilliant as a rainbow. It was a vision of being almost there. The phrase, almost there, is one of the sweetest and cruelest lies humanity tells itself. It's like a spiritual opioid that helps us endure exhausting days. Just push through this project. You're almost there, and then the projects line up one after another, turning life into a never-ending series of projects. Just finish high school. College will be a breeze. Then in college, you hear, just try to graduate. You'll be free once you get a job. And finally, once you're working, you long for the almost retired. Almost there is a fantastical promise, a bait we willingly bite, and then we just keep swimming in a sea of misery. But life isn't a 100-meter dash, is it? It's a symphony, and every day is a note. On some days, You're like a virtuoso violinist, gliding across the strings with grace. Your notes are small successes. The joy of receiving a flower from your lover. The bliss of having a full tank of gas. Ah, these notes. We often call them happy moments. But take a closer look. Are they really happiness? Or are they just trivialities, inflated by an exhausted soul in need of a temporary doping agent? The pleasure of a full gas tank might be a high note. But it only lasts until the tank is empty again. And then there are days when you're no different from a clumsy panda. Stumbling constantly. Your notes are off-key. Out of rhythm. It could be a Monday after a long weekend. The craving to stay buried under the covers while still having to get up for work. The times when work piles into a mountain and you just want to spontaneously combust and disappear. You see, the whole "almost there" tune is actually a well-intentioned lie we tell ourselves every morning when we wake up. The reality is, there is no "almost there." Life is a never-ending symphony where each day is a note. And instead of trying to run towards an imaginary finish line, perhaps we should learn to enjoy being off-key. Learn to laugh at crisis Mondays. Learn to comfort ourselves when work piles up. And learn to turn the low notes into roaring laughter. Why? Because in that off-keyness, we find our true selves. The low note of failure teaches us humility. The lost note of confusion teaches us acceptance. And the humorous note of foolishness teaches us love. This life is inherently a chaotic symphony. And our job isn't to turn it into a perfect masterpiece, but to learn how to survive. And sometimes, to dance to our own off-key notes. Part 2. The low notes. Sometimes, failure is a miracle. Everyone is afraid of failure. Afraid of being laughed at by others. Afraid of being hated by ourselves. We are taught that failure is shameful. A sign of incompetence. But have you ever thought that failure has its good side? Someone who obsesses over analyzing off-key notes, must admit, the fear of failure is the classic background music of modern society. An instrumental track, filled only with the sounds of sighs, furious keyboard typing, and the soulless mouse clicks as we scroll through social media. Out there, the world is filled with brilliant, high notes. Success, happiness, money, and glamorous vacations. Everything is displayed like a magic show, making us think we're the only ones playing out of tune in this perfect orchestra. Failure, therefore, is not just a personal pain but a public humiliation. It's the fear of being rated poorly on the leaderboard of life. But you know what? Failure is like a low note in a symphony. It's not beautiful, not soaring, but it brings depth and emotion. It helps you realize that the world isn't just rosy. It's the profound lesson that life gives you, in the most brutal way possible. Failure, after all, is a mirror that helps you see your scars, your weaknesses, and sometimes, it's just a slap from out of nowhere to wake you up from your fantastical dreams. For example, you might fail in a relationship. Heartbreak, devastation, feeling like the world is ending. That feeling isn't a low note, it's a tragic symphony. Long, drawn out, and full of tears. It's the tragic comedy of nights spent crying, days spent gnawing on loneliness, and then realizing you spent your entire youth loving someone who can't even remember your parents' names. But after it all, you become stronger. You learn to value yourself more. You learn how to recognize a suitable partner, not just a good-looking one for the moment. What's the miracle of failure here? It's that it freed you from a mistake. And even if you didn't realize it immediately, it created space for you to find something more deserving. Failure can also be a low note in your career. Got fired? Got rejected? See it as a chance to rest and reflect. Maybe your old job wasn't right for you. And this is the emergency exit the universe arranged for you to find a new path. Isn't there a familiar saying, when one door closes, another one opens? But sometimes it just closes, and that's it. But at least you have time to eat, watch movies, and sarcastically mock the people who are still busy. That mockery isn't a bad thing. It's an extremely effective psychological defense mechanism. When you can't win, you laugh at your own failure. And you know what? That laughter is more powerful than any cliché encouragement. Failure isn't just a lesson. It's an event we must go through to learn how to stand up. Or more accurately, to learn how to accept lying flat on our face for a while before clumsily crawling back up. Failure is the miracle of maturity because it makes us stop fantasizing about perfection and start accepting the cracks and scars on ourselves. We stop chasing the final destination and start living with the low notes, the high notes, and even the off-key notes in our own symphony. Part 3. The high notes, when success is just a passing breeze. We are always chasing the high notes. That feeling of getting a promotion, buying an expensive item, receiving a compliment. These high notes are like the crescendos in the music, making us excited, proud. This world is a dopamine stage. We are programmed to seek out thrilling hits from great achievements, glorious victories. You're not going to celebrate buying a new toothbrush by posting a 1,000-word status on social media. But when you buy a car, a house, or even just an expensive watch, you immediately want the whole world to know you've just hit a high note. Your brain is like a kid with candy, jumping up and down and screaming. But have you noticed? That feeling usually comes and goes very quickly. A few days after the promotion, you're facing the pressure of a new job. A few days after buying a fancy new phone, you realize it's no different from a brick. Success is like a passing breeze. It blows in and brings joy. But if you keep chasing it, you'll get tired and never feel satisfied. It's a never-ending loop, a meaningless hamster wheel. Every time we reach a goal, we immediately set a higher one. Humans are the only creatures capable of turning happiness into a ladder and then just climbing forever, forgetting that the ladder has no top. And so we run until we're exhausted and lost. The greatest tragedy of the high note is not its fragility, but our dependence on it. Instead of focusing only on creating high notes, let's learn to enjoy the everyday notes. That moment you sip your morning coffee, the time you chat with an old friend, the peaceful feeling of being wrapped in a blanket on a rainy afternoon. Those simple notes, though not brilliant, are what create the harmony of life's symphony. They help you realize that happiness is not the destination, but the journey. But this journey isn't a romantic trip either. It's more like a bus ride with a full cast of characters. Someone singing karaoke, someone getting carsick and throwing up, someone talking loudly on the phone. And it is in that chaos and simplicity that we find harmony, a strange kind of peace. True happiness isn't the applause of the crowd, but the normal beat of your heart when you're alone. It isn't an expensive car, but the feeling of safety when you step into a small, cozy home. High notes are necessary to create a climax, but if the entire piece was only high notes, it would become jarring and meaningless. It's the everyday notes, the off-key notes, and the low notes that create a symphony with soul, depth, and unexpected, satirical smiles. Part 4. The Off-Key Symphony, How to Live Correctly. There's a harsh truth that not everyone has a perfect symphony. Our lives are filled with off-key notes. And those notes, my friends, are often written by unwilling composers from the outside. It's the advice from people who don't understand you at all. It's the pressure of the neighbor's perfect kid from your parents. It's the judgments of how to live correctly from society. The neighbor's kid isn't a specific individual, but a collective intellectual product. A hybrid model of Bill Gates, Einstein, and a guardian angel. They excel in school, get rich, marry early, have obedient children, and never talk back to their parents. They are a perfect version of falsehood, a pre-written score that society endlessly tries to copy. And we, the lazy, clumsy, flawed individuals, just keep looking up and wondering, why can't I play that song? We live in an invisible prison called living correctly. Correct is working 8 hours, going to bed early, eating vegetables, and not complaining about life. Correct is getting married at the right age, having kids at the right time, and buying a house at the right time when housing prices are through the roof. But your life is not a pre-written score. You don't have to follow any template. You have the right to create your own off-key notes, as long as they make you happy. In fact, the off-key note is the essence of freedom. It's a rebellion without shouting, a revolution without guns. It's the right to be a human being instead of a machine programmed to produce perfect notes. You have the right to be lazy for a day, the right to declare a strike against yourself, against the bustling world out there. It's not laziness, it's a date with your own exhausted soul. To eat unhealthy food, the right to abandon a strict diet and enjoy a bowl of instant noodles at midnight. It's not breaking the rules, it's an open dialogue with a hungry stomach and a soul that craves indulgence. To slow down, instead of racing against time. The right to take a walk with no destination. The right to sit by the window for hours just to watch the rain fall. It's not a waste of time. It's how you recharge your soul while others are depleting their energy in a race with no finish line. To do what you love, even if it's crazy in others' eyes. The right to sing off key. Dance meaninglessly, or even talk to yourself. It's not crazy, it's how you free yourself from the shackles of prejudice. Because your life's symphony is only meaningful when it truly reflects who you are. Failure, the low notes, makes you humble. Success, the high notes, gives you motivation. But it's the off-key notes that make you different. That make you a unique conductor. Who knows how to blend the low notes, the high notes, and even the off-key notes to create a one-of-a-kind masterpiece? Life is not a pre-written score, it's a series of improvised moments. And it is those off-key moments, the foolishness, the mistakes, that are the material for a true masterpiece. A symphony that only you can play. So confidently pick up your conductor's baton and start playing your own music. No one has the right to criticize or judge, because this is the symphony of your life. Part 5. The final chord, the applause from within. At the end of this symphony, you won't receive any applause from others. The most important thing is that you can smile and be proud of what you've been through. Because it is those very notes that have made you who you are. And you are the most wonderful symphony of your own life. I, a person who often ponders and analyzes the tragicomic aspects of life, can confirm, you will never receive a full round of applause. Because who is applauding you? The people you passed on the marathon track? Or the virtual audience on social media? Who can switch to another show with a single click? The crowd doesn't applaud your low notes, nor do they celebrate your off-key moments. They only clap for the high notes they can see. Applause from the outside, in the end, is just a passing breeze, an empty echo, and sometimes, it's a hollow reminder that you've done better than someone else. And then, when the world's applause fades, you are left alone with your own symphony. At that moment, you will see the difference. You smile not because someone acknowledged you, but because you survived. That smile isn't a radiant smile of happiness, but a profound smile. A little tired, a little crazy, and full of contentment. Content because you dared to live true to your own low notes, high notes, and even your off-key notes, without having to pretend to play any other song. The pride you feel now is not pride in success. It's pride in not giving up. Pride in daring to fail, daring to get lost, and daring to be an off-key misfit in a world full of fakes. You are proud because you dared to get up after every fall. Proud that you weren't blinded by flashy high notes. And proud that you created a piece of music just for you. The symphony of your life may not be a perfect masterpiece. It may have missed beats, jarring sounds, and notes that follow no rules. But those are the things that have made you who you are. It's not a perfect score, it's a masterpiece of chaos. It's real, it's alive, and there is only one version of it in this world. So, keep playing, play your own symphony, and when the final note sounds, give yourself a round of applause, with a smile and a heart full of pride. Because, no matter what, you are the most wonderful symphony of your own life. Thank you for your patience until the very last moments of this video. I know the world out there is full of videos 100 times more captivating. Yet, you're still here. I guess you either love this unbelievably useful content, or you just accidentally clicked on it and don't know how to get out. Whatever the reason, I still deeply appreciate it. Once again, thank you all so much. See you in the next video, where we will continue writing the story of life together. Let's all heal the emotional wounds from watching this video.